Buddy
Right.
Charles, Working Class Bowhunter crew. There's 3 of them in there. You see them. Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Hey, good to see you guys.
Good. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are in a remote location. We're working out Colorado here tonight. So
look at the background.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, look at the mountains back there.
Yeah, I see a mountain and some Jeeps back there. So living the life, huh?
So we've been jeeping through the mountains a little bit, looking at trees and then stopping and having lunches and talking about some business and what needs to go on. So
yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Can we just get one thing out of the way and just say happy birthday to Dan?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So that is part of it. It's my birthday, so there are 3 or 4 people. Brought some people out to see us. And,
3 or 4 couples.
3 or 4 couples.
Yeah.
And we've had a really good time. So
That's
thank
awesome.
you very much.
Happy birthday, man.
Thanks.
Been a good time.
It feels good to be 28. I'm just saying.
He was, yeah.
You're
So I
looking
got
good.
to tell you guys, like, and Curt, you'll appreciate this because you were just out west. But so we were coming down off the mountain pass. I think it was Tuesday, and I'm not kidding you. I bet we counted 85 mule deer.
Oh yeah,
100 mule deer. It was insane. And they're just chilling, like they see Jeeps all the time off-roading.
Yeah.
So it's not like this hunting, as you know, but we're like 10 yards from the mule deer.
I think the mule deer that I was hunting, Chase, I don't know if they've ever seen a Jeep in their lifetime. So,
right.
But
They've probably never seen anything walk on 2 legs. Let's be honest.
it was out there a little ways.
Yeah.
Did you take in, or did you take ATVs or horses? What were you? Tell us about that.
We went up and did a drop camp. So we went back in, did a drop camp at elevation. It was like 10.4 roughly. And then we got there. So I got to Wyoming a couple of days early to get acclimated as much as possible. But we got up there the day before season opened and set up like 3 single man tents. It was me, my buddy Clint Casper, my buddy Devin Leonard. We set up and just basically scouted the day before, found some bucks, and then basically made our move there the next morning once season opened September 1st and got after it.
And so how many have you killed and when? Was it pretty quick or?
I killed the second day of season, September 2nd, on the second afternoon, but it felt like I had already hunted 2 weeks before that just because the terrain was so brutal. The elevation wrecked me. I got to be completely honest.
You can't work out for that, especially with, the dad bods we have and the focus that you have to do to go do that. It's crazy.
Well, it was weird because like my body felt good. Like I felt great. Like my legs I felt energized there, like muscle wise, but like fuel tank wise, it was such a frustrating feeling because I kept telling, because the guys I went with were used to it. And, we get to hiking around. I'm like, this is so frustrating because I can do it, but I have no gas to get there. So, and what I learned was
totally different. Yeah, totally different.
Way different. And so I was like, listen, because I'm having the hardest time here, you guys just follow me, let me set the pace, and then we'll just get there. And that made a 180 turnaround on my hunt. It really did.
I think Eric Doug, when you guys were out to my cabin down there in Southern Iowa, I think we got talking about Alaska where it was the same story. Like I trained and trained and trained. I dropped all this weight and I thought I was prepared for everything. And then you get out there and frankly, I was having I had my butt kicked by a 63-year-old guy.
Right.
Right.
I don't think there's any training you can do to prepare yourself for that.
No,
not for the guys that live there and do it every day. They're
no oxygen. That's a problem.
They're a marvel. Their bodies are used to it and they're just machines. You got to throw your hats off to the ones that do it every day.
Yeah. Not for me. It's for me a few times a year, like I'll do it, but I mean, until you get used to it, it's just, but it's also like a cool experience. If it wasn't as brutal to do and just kind of sucky in the moment, it wouldn't be near as fun afterwards when you talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of talk about, look at their new studio.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know it.
They keep inviting us to come up there and do that. I think, is that a bourbon room in back? Beer room? What is that?
We have, it's a green room because it's a studio. So we have a green room, but simply put, if you ask anybody else, it's a bar. Yeah, it's a bar.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
It's awesome. I mean, it looks great, guys.
Yeah.
So tell us what else is going on, because you guys, it feels like you just blown up this year. I mean,
well, thank you. bought the studio and completely, it was a hair salon. We completely revamped it into kind of like a hunting podcast. Fantasy Factory is kind of what we're starting to call it. But yeah, then we also have a new series called Working Class on Deercast with Drury Outdoors. That's it's launches on Deercast first. That's its main home. It's a video podcast there, and we're looking forward to it's launching twice a week from now until the end of the year. And then starting in 22, it'll launch every single week. And we're looking forward to interacting with the Deercast family there. So if someone's not on Deercast already, we recommend you get there and interact with us, because that's where we're kind of go to first for like listener interaction and topics and stuff like that. And then it's also on the Drury Outdoors YouTube, and the audio only will launch after it launches on those platforms on our normal podcast feed. So we're pretty dang excited about it.
Nice. That's incredible. I mean, you guys have been around 5 years,
6.5.
Yep, we're going on 7.
Yeah,
and now you're with the biggest team doing the biggest shows ever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because
it's mind blowing to
just
say that we're at this point right now.
Right.
Well, we all grew up on Drury Outdoors DVDs and stuff, you know, and then now to kind of be a part of that team and be on their platform that I know they've worked so hard for, and then to kind of approach us to be on it as well and produce content for it, it's a dream come true, to be honest.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And let's be honest, we got to thank Dan, because he's been there since year 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, maybe before that.
Pretty early.
Pretty early. We were team members when we launched this deal in 2016.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, honestly, it does, because we started our first episode launched March of 2015.
Yep.
Like March 2nd or something like that.
So thanks, Dan, for giving us a chance and sticking with us.
Hey, you guys are awesome, and what you do is terrific, and we've had a lot of fun doing those shows at ATA. I'm looking forward to getting back after a couple of years here and doing all that stuff together. So
yeah, definitely. And you know, like we said earlier, we need to get you guys here and actually get the real Working Class Bowhunter like studio experience that we can finally provide to guests, you know. So, and we have a place for guests to stay and entertain and all that. So.
What?
Oh, it's a whole. We got everything here.
5-star.
You have a lodge. It's a 5-star lodge.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Yeah. You can look up our Yelp reviews; they're pretty good. So
I love it.
We'll have to write one after this.
Yeah, there is no Yelp reviews. Get on that, Eric.
I'm trying to make sure I keep an eye on.
We're trying to check comments here a little bit, but if I know you guys, you get to interact and do all the time, but if some guys have some questions here, we might break in and ask you.
Absolutely.
And you guys that are tuning in, I mean, do ask questions. Like, it's fun because as long as we've been hanging out with the Working Class Bowhunter guys, we've had a lot of fun stories. Like, we got ATA stories of crushing it in the room and having a lot of fun podcasts in there. You guys came down to Rubline. You've had Dan on several times. Like, I mean, it's been a lot of. We've had a lot of cool.
There's so one time at ATA when we were because
the one time, just one time.
Well, I was gonna get. So I think we set a record. We recorded in the outdoor podcast industry. We recorded 17 podcasts in 2 days in the Rubline marketing room at ATA one year.
Insane.
It's crazy.
I don't know if it's a record. I just made that up, but it feels like
it wasn't. And it wasn't just anybody too. It was.
You had stars.
It was the Drurys and Waddell and I mean all
Aaron Lewis and all them guys.
We should got a gold moose for that or something, right?
Yeah.
We'll make our own award.
I saw maybe just joined. He said, "What's up, boys?" So, hey, keep sending us the killing of the pig pics. Maybe down in Texas.
You can scroll up, don't you?
I love that stuff.
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Go.
And let's see. Got to crush that stale beer. Yes, for sure. Sand Crusher Cakes care of stale beer.
They're still drinking, but it's not Bush anymore.
Actually, here, this is a good one. I'm going to have the guys from Working Class answer this question.
Yeah.
So Bob Harworth said, any tips for hunting public land where trail cameras are not allowed? My tree stand setup is mobile, but what do you guys recommend? That's a really great question. So
trail cameras are starting to go away.
And I know you guys have all cut a lot of teeth on public ground. So how would you answer that?
First, if you cannot run trail cameras, what I would do, I mean, I think your first obvious option, maybe not obvious, but terrain features.
Get on your maps, man.
Topos.
I mean, I would hunt obvious terrain features from there. And then, of course, you got to see what other hunting pressures in those terrain features, because most other people are doing that. And then work your way from there out. Or if you don't have any obvious terrain features, what I do, especially if I get on any new property, I hunt my way from the outside in. So you're not jumping to the middle of a property and ruining it before you know what's going on. Where deer generally, in my experience, and I think Doug and Eric probably agree, deer are fringe animals naturally. So I try to work from fringes and then work in as I learn the property. So I'm not ruining
Like
things.
an observation stand.
Yeah, almost observation, but go in before I even go too deep and ruin it before I even know what's actually going on.
Or even during shed hunting, like you see those topos, go in there and check out the terrain, like see what's going on there, and that'll set you up for later in the season.
So what do you guys like? You bring up the first thing you thought of was maps. And I remember I didn't get into bow hunting until I was in my 20s, early 20s, like 21, 22. And I was fortunate to meet and hang out with Mark Drury in my early 20s. That was the first thing he preached to me, and he taught me pinch points.
Mm-hmm.
He was always like, look for pinch points, look for pinch points. But then now it's even more than that. It's entry and exit. And I think that's what you're getting to with maps, right? It's entry, exit, and it's pinch points when you're looking at a map.
Yep.
Yeah, that too. And then it's also like, wind direction plays a big part in entry and exit. And then I think a lot of like the next step would be off of like obvious terrain features would be like using wind to work for your advantage, but also the deer's advantage. So Chase, remember the podcast we did with Kyle Weeder? We named it Whiskey Wind. Yes. Like it's I actually
almost right.
It's almost right, but it's almost wrong.
Right.
Yes.
For the deer and you.
For the deer and you, or quartering winds if you're a normal human being. But if you listen to our podcast, we call it Whiskey Wind.
Yeah, Whiskey Wind sounds so much better.
And I don't think I talked about it that night, but that was a fun podcast with Kyle. My first gross boon was on a Whiskey Wind, and it was just right on that edge. And it was funny when we got done with that podcast, I just kept going through my head. I was like, we called him the 529 buck, and he was killed on a Whiskey Wind. And I just rode that edge, and he just came out just right and got a good shot on him.
Hopefully we help with that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like
it's amazing that, what we're able to do now.
Yes.
That are pushing the edges. I mean, it's technology, right? So you're talking about these maps, and you can pull them up on your phone and study that stuff, to the gradient degree and from satellite to gradient levels to drainages. I mean,
I got a really interesting perspective from I'll say a whitetail legend who's killed a 200-inch deer that nobody would ever know his name, but I'm fortunate to know him. We talk a lot. And he says, if you realize the average bow hunter's life is maybe, let's just say we're lucky enough to bow hunt for 30 to 40, 50 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means at best, let's just say you might get a chance at a true Boone and Crockett animal, maybe every other year. So let's just take the average of 40, divide that by 2, you got 20. Right. So the average bow hunter is going to have 20 chances in their entire life to kill a record animal. Mm-hmm. And then if you live in tough spots, like maybe the Northeast or the Southeast, where there's a lot of timber and it's hard to do pinch points, or maybe you live in
smaller plots,
a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe you cut that down even more. So maybe in an entire bow hunter's lifetime, they might have 5 to, let's just say, as many 20 opportunities. And he said, why wouldn't I employ, like, people might give you grief about you shoot a compound instead of a recurve or a longbow, right?
Yeah.
Or they say, I can't believe you're using a mechanical rage when you should be using a fixed blade. Or why are you using ozone to try to control your scent? And he said, why wouldn't I, when I only have that few of opportunities, use every single thing I can get my hands on for an advantage? Because I don't get that many chances.
And it's an investment of time and money too.
Right.
But then the other things, we all have families. I mean, you guys are just having young kids too, right?
Yeah.
And we understand there's hunting time, there's family time, and you need to have as much family time as you can. So
that's right.
Yeah, it's a hard work life, hunting life balance, and family life in there too, And so like we're learning that more and more as like this podcast becomes more of a thing, and then trying to hunt, and then like more hunting trips come up, and just different opportunities and obligations and meetings and stuff. So it's becoming a business. So we're learning to juggle all that. But yeah, I agree with you, Chase. Like there's certain things, like, you know, apply Scent Crusher to that whiskey wind thing we were talking about. Like that's an advantage that you put just a small amount of effort into that can help you drastically on a hunt. Because if it goes the other way, you play that whiskey wind and it doesn't work out in your favor, which is a lot of times, you might be cussing yourself that you didn't take one extra step.
Right. 100%.
And maybe that one extra step was just running a cycle with some ozone and your Scent Crusher gear bag before you went out, or whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
Whatever tools you can get, right? Whether it's ozone or, you know, I even know like there was I don't even know if they're still around, but they made a gum, right? Just to get rid of breath. And maybe some people laughed about it, but I'm like, well, I tasted it. It tastes like crap, but I'm like, man, your breath stinks all the time.
Oh yeah.
So if that's one more thing, maybe it helps. So let's move on to another question. This is a great one.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little controversial, which I love the controversy of this question. So Perry asks, why is camo seemingly so important? Hunters have been successful for decades before the onset of big dollar camo clothing. I think we should just few second answer round robin it, because I'm really curious of everybody's opinion. I know I have my own on camo. I'm curious of everybody's opinion on just camo, period. So
yeah,
Mustache Doug, got to go first.
Gotta go first.
I don't think it's as important as people make you believe it is, to be honest.
Right.
And
I think that's fair.
I like good looking camo though. I like looking good in stand.
Quick answer. I think movement's more important than camo, but if I'm getting stared into the soul by a mature buck, I'd rather have some camo than nothing.
Right on. Yep. Eric?
I agree with that. And then also, like, I understand there's higher quality camo out there if you're like up in Alaska or you're up doing that kind of thing.
That's more material than it is
material than camo, but like
it comes with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, rather have a pattern than not, and I think movement's more important than camo.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Dan?
I think the fabrics and the technology that sit there, that one, allow you to be more comfortable, but two, may prevent you from sweating or being loud in the stand now as much as anything else is such a huge advantage as opposed to wool getting more or whatever it was before.
I agree. I think it's my answer is a combination of everything I said. I don't think pattern makes a single bit of difference. I think as long as it's a broken up thing, you're good. I don't think you should go out there as a solid blob, but as long as you've got some up, I think the way deer see. But for me, it's more fit and function. If I put it on and it's great and I can draw my bow and I don't sweat, I warm,
and you don't freeze.
I think quality of clothing is way more important than the actual pattern. So great question.
Yeah.
We had another awesome question come in.
Can I plug something, Chase, real quick while we're on that?
Dude, please.
We've been working with Huntworth Camo.
Yep.
And for the price of their camo and availability where you can get it like any farm implement store, their camo patterns are great, the quality is great, and the price is great. And I feel like that just fits a lot of people's budget when they might need to get an entire suit. Yeah. That's just something to look into. We're not saying it's the best. We like it. Maybe check it out.
Yeah. So what you were saying, like price function, we were talking about it totally off subject. We were talking about yesterday, Jeeping.
Yeah.
So Jeeping is kind of interesting because you're in and out of the Jeeps all the time. You're doing recovery gear. You're moving and up underneath the Jeeps, trying to fix stuff, whatever. And I was bragging about, I bought a pair of Eddie Bauer pants.
I made fun of him.
And he made fun of me. He's like, Eddie Bauer, like that's so like 90. They were fantastic.
They had a Ford Explorer at one time.
They used to be kind of like the top dog. Now they're like not. I got them like 50% off, and I realized it wasn't anything about the color, the pockets. It was the fact that I could move in them and
they're stretched.
I could get under the And we talk about that when we go mountain hunting or whitetail hunting when you're just sitting there in a stand.
Right.
There's differences.
Totally different.
Chase also wears Jinko jeans from the 90s.
You got to bust me out. No, I don't even know what that is. Okay. So next question. This is actually a good question for Dan. So Benjamin said, people always say rain washes away scent, but if you talk to a guy with a tracking dog, they say it's easier to track in a rain job. So does it wash away or does it make it more obvious? So I think the question really is you're in the ozone game. What does rain do from a scent factor, especially when you're using or not using ozone?
So rain, I don't want to go into crazy, chemistry of it, but ozone is more effective in humidity and rain, which is, the new supercharged Scent Crusher Plus we have.
Right.
We mix humidity in with the ozone, supercharges it to make it work faster.
Right.
So once you get humidity, at least for us, we're able to kill the scent and bacteria molecules. And I think that's the secret for us. And as far as a dog and deer tracker, I'm not sure how, to answer that. Why?
But I think what it is also because that same thing sticks around. So the same reason why, if you figure out how to eliminate it in humidity, it's more powerful, because that humidity also traps scent. So you have to use it to your advantage to kill it.
Yeah.
So that's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
And by the way, I love hunting in the rain, especially that.
Yes, if you can get rain to stop and you're like, oh my God, here they all come, right?
Yes.
If you're seeing that rain's gonna stop in the afternoon, your ass better be in that stand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, look who jumped in.
Frank Pullen from Iowa.
Iowa, buddy. We miss you.
He's all.
We did a hunt with Frank.
We did.
Iowa boys.
Yeah, a few years ago. Frank's awesome. We miss you, Frank. We were actually talking about you today. Good luck at H&H Trailers.
This is a great question. David Todd asks, when public land has been logged, what's your strategy to hunt it?
Oh, yeah.
And do you hunt it after 3 years? 4 years? Do you hunt the edges or try to sneak in? You talked a little bit about deeper if the wind is good. But that's a great question because
it happens.
I'll be honest. I'll take the forefront. I've never logged public land. And so I'm not even going to act like I know the answer to that.
I haven't either.
I actually learned about it when I was turkey hunting. So it's the first time for me.
Here's what I'll tell you. My opinion is if they piled up the brush, if they piled up the tops, get your butt in there and hunt it, because mature deer especially are going to love hanging out in those tops because they feel safe and secure and it becomes instant bedding for them. If the logging, especially on public, cleared all that out, good luck. I mean, it's going to be tough.
It's just blank canvas.
Like a football field.
Yeah.
I haven't hunted it, but I do stuff in my own habitat with burning and stuff, even underbrush. And I think you end up with all that new growth that they can feed on and hide in too, in maybe a little thicker cover than you had before. Grant Woods talks a lot about burning your land every year, growth and some of that stuff with it.
Yeah. So, okay, real quick, Chris, by the way, yes, that gum was horrible. Thanks for chiming in. It was terrible.
It was.
Mike said I remember that gum. Okay, Randy had a great question. Favorite scent product, really quick, rapid fire around the room. I'm going to go first on this one. By far, my favorite scent crusher product is probably the Covert Closet. Because I also pheasant hunt. I like to upland bird hunt. I still use my scent crusher and I dry my clothes out with it. And I have fresh socks every morning. So it's a dual thing for me when I'm bird hunting or I'm whitetail hunting. I like the Covert Closet. Doug, you?
Roller bag, 100%.
Roller bag. Curt?
Roller bag or gear bag, no questions asked. Favorite.
Eric?
Gear bag or room clean. I use that room clean about every goddamn day.
Yes.
You got a kid now. I got
a kid, so you get them stinky diapers. You just hit that little button.
We have a room clean right here.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've got a board in my office, and it's all these crazy things I have on there from scrubs to clean to dog gear, blah blah blah. One of them is a baby diaper pail. You may see a scent crusher baby diaper pail one of these days.
Honestly, Dan,
we have this thing in our nursery now that you throw the diapers in. I'm going to try and rig up.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's the diaper genie is what it's called.
Yeah.
I'm about to put the hose inside that thing.
Okay, I got a one-upper on that one, and I'm sorry, Eric, but
they all have new kids, so this is awesome. Yeah.
So
except for me,
my wife is adamant that we cloth diaper. We cloth diaper with my daughter. We're cloth diaper and with my son. We did it. Everyone said we wouldn't do it. We're doing it. Ozone has never been more useful until you cloth diaper, and then all those diapers that you put in, that stink doesn't go anywhere because you throw it in the washer and then you got to deal with it. I mean, it's clean after that, but that doesn't get thrown away. We save it all. But
that's good.
So yeah, room clean.
Room clean is number one in my household right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
mine is
you go to the warehouse and can pick anything you want.
I tell you what, because of the background, what I know, it's the Scent Crusher Plus. It's that supercharged ozone with the humidity that penetrates faster, deeper, quicker. And the reason I know it is because we've tested it against COVID and all that crazy stuff, but just because we know it worked, and we're now doing it in the fire world. So I know how great it is.
Yeah.
So that's why
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Mine sits next to, it's in the same room as our cat's litter boxer in the summer. And now
mine is too right now.
And now it's now going to be,
litter box is on my board too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You need to do that for sure. Cause I'll buy 6 of them.
You know what? I got a little like cell phone video from Mark Drury just like, I don't know, probably like a couple weeks ago. And he took he jerked the generator out of his Scent Crusher closet. He put the new Plus unit in there and he sent me this video and he turns his camera around. He's like running it and he turns around and he goes, this thing is insane. And it is. The Plus unit
it's crazy.
Do you guys have some of them? I can't remember.
Yeah, we got them.
Yep.
Okay.
They're nuts. Yeah, they're nuts. They're so powerful. Which speaking on that, hold on. There was a great question. I want to get to 2 of them really quick. I don't want to run out of time.
Yeah.
So let's see here. No, I'm not going to answer if Doug sticks his stash in a bag.
That's what I was just reading.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave that one alone.
Maybe.
So this is a great question. John Anthony, he joined late and he said, I feel like ozone creates a smell, and is it detectable or not? Which is a great question because yes, you can smell ozone.
Can I add to that question? Can I add something real quick, Chase?
You answer it.
Yeah, answer it.
So we had this conversation on a podcast recently about smells that bring you back to like memories of your childhood growing up hunting. And for one guy, it might be diesel. One guy, it might be the smell of like the earth scent wafers or whatever.
Plywood.
And we were talking that nowadays the smell of ozone is going to be that smell for guys when they're older. And we just like now, like my kids are going to smell ozone and think hunting season.
My kid's already smelled ozone. He's 2 weeks old.
So I just wanted to say that before Dan takes over and actually explains about the smell, but that's going to be like the scent of a lot of up and coming hunters' childhood's hunting memories.
Absolutely.
Really, it's weird to think
it's
about.
Funny that you say that about the memory, and that does tie into. I know what you're going to answer is the fact that we got to remember deer have been born into ozone since they were born. I mean, since they came out of the womb, because after every thunderstorm, guess what? You've got the smell of ozone. Those of us that live in the city or even in the country that maybe we just don't get out right after a rainstorm, we don't realize it. But animals that live in nature
get it all the time.
They get it all the time.
It doesn't bother them.
It's a natural smell.
Get it.
Yeah, it's a natural.
That's why they will, and you'll see it. You notice they notice it's there. It doesn't bother them, probably because it's more concentrated than generally they would have in nature. But it doesn't bother them,
Right?
And the chance that you've killed obviously all the other bacteria and scent that sits there.
Yeah.
So
just a few more questions. This is a great one. Another one for Working Class. You guys answer this. Hence the name Working Class. And I know all of you guys do fit that. You're on a budget. You hunt your butts off. You're not booking extravagant, outfitters and stuff like that. So Garrett asked for a beginning hunter that's hunting on a budget. What Scent Crusher product do you pick?
Shout out Garrett, good one too.
That's a great question.
I'll go first on this. I always recommend, like, my number one product for Scent Crusher, even when we talk about it on the podcast every week, is the gear bag. Because it kind of it has multiple uses. One, it's storage for all your hunting gear, and it makes it accessible. Like, you throw it in your truck, keep it in your truck, and just live out of it. That's what I do all season long. And all your stuff is in there, everything you need. And if you need this, like, I can fit almost all like heavy gear and early season gear in it.
Even my backpack goes in there.
Yeah. I mean, you can run it in there. It's convenient. You can carry it with you. It's small enough. You can put it on like a backpack now with the new version of it and carry and get it to where you need to go. Use it as luggage for your regular clothes when you go on a trip and keep you know what I mean? You can get your stinky clothes fresh overnight.
Gear bag is kind of just a no-brainer.
That's what I use.
I think that's the one, like, if you're on a budget and you're worried about where to put your money there because it's storage for your hunting gear and it can keep it scent free, and you're on the move with it. So
that gear bag doesn't leave my truck from tomorrow opening day till January 10th.
Agreed.
Unless you got to charge it.
Yep.
You're like, it reminds me of my son Keegan. The gear bag is like in his truck 24
all the time.
Whether it's his gym clothes, if he's fishing, like his hunting clothes during season or trapping, everything goes in that gear bag, and it's always in his truck, and it always has the 12-volt plug-in. Yeah. I don't know if he's ever run it in house. It seems like it's always hooked up to his truck.
It's
my gym clothes are in there too.
It's this time of year when our customer service people are like, "Hey, I lost my plug for my truck. I need it tomorrow. I'm going to Iowa. Can you overnight it?" We're like,
"You just got that message."
Yeah, I got it. I still told you last night.
That's when you just
only $9, but it's going to be $40 to overnight. I don't care. That's fine. We're starting season, right?
Well, that's the thing. If you upgraded and you went with the roller bag, you have the Halo series, and then it's chargeable. And that's what we bring on our hunts where we don't have access to power the whole time.
Right. Well, did you grab your Halo when you were mule deer hunting out in the tent?
I didn't bring it with me on the mountain, but I got it there. So at least I killed on the second day. So I like to think it carried in, but
we took them on our bear hunt though.
On our bear hunt is a little different. The bear hunt, we're back to camp every night, and we had it with, and there's no power in our tents because we're in canvas wall tents. But I think
I got a whole new business venture. I'm telling you, because you love that backpack stuff just like I do.
Yeah.
When I went to Alaska 14 days, I brought a Halo and a portable charger, and I shoved them in my pack, and I weighed it out, and I was like, because it's pretty light, so I got away with it.
Yeah.
I could have charged anything I wanted to the guys in my tent just for a 10-minute cycle for their socks.
You put it in your sleeping bag.
I see.
Everybody put their socks and underwear in their
sleeping bag, and
they ran it.
Yes, I could have charged anything I wanted because it was so valuable. Everybody's stuff was so stanky.
These guys are gonna start renting out Sun Crusher stuff.
Chase just so many whiskey vouchers on that hunt when they got back to camp.
So tell us what do you guys have planned for hunts the rest of the year?
Eric, go ahead.
I'm just whitetail hunting here in Iowa. That's all I got planned this fall. So,
yeah, same for me. So I'll be trying to chase some big whitetails.
I'll be whitetail hunting in Illinois, and I think a little bit in Indiana. I got back from my Wyoming hunt, and then Austin and Ross just got back from Alaska on a moose hunt, and they both killed great moose. So, kicking off the season for 21 for us is looking real bright. Yeah,
going good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you got good picks. You were talking a little bit about food plots and stuff. How's that all look now?
Food plots are looking pretty good. We got army worms are hitting hard here in the Midwest for about everyone we've talked to.
We had those in Wichita about 2 months
ago.
My
food plots are not looking good because I was in that little section of Iowa where we didn't get rain for 4 months.
So Eric, Doug, you guys were there when we were putting those food plots in?
Yep.
On my farm?
Yep.
They came up unreal. Huge, green leaves. Just a beautiful fall food plot.
Did you guys get some rain down there finally?
We got rain. Oh, it was perfect timing. Everything. I couldn't have asked for anything better. And I'm watching it on I got one of those cellular cameras pointing over the food plot. And all of a sudden I noticed there was no deer. And I couldn't see. Granted, the camera was a little bit from the food plot, and it looked different. I went down there, army worms.
No,
I'm down to dirt. Nothing. There's not a plant left.
Yep, it's crazy.
I called Joe, our mutual friend Joe, who had just got hit with army worms, and we called him when we were out there. And I'm like, you are not going to believe this. I got hammered. I've got nothing but dirt.
Because from what I understand, it's from the drought. They don't have anything to eat underneath the ground, so they come up and eat.
Is that what it is?
That's what I've heard. Is from the.
I've heard that. I've heard that hurricanes pushed them up, the winds. I don't know.
We've never had them like this in Kansas.
No,
before. It was crazy.
I've
never seen them before.
One plot that I had it looked fantastic, and I went back. I'm like, well, it just went to hell, man. I'm like,
you have to catch them in day one or day two. Or it's gone. It's tough food plots that you only visit maybe once a week.
Right. Well, you're trying to keep pressure off them, and then you go in and you're like, well, it's too far gone.
Yeah, but they can destroy 80 acres in 24 hours. So it's what can you possibly do?
They said you go at the middle of the night.
You can't do anything.
You hear them eating.
What?
Yeah, that's what someone said.
Get out of
You
here.
could hear them eating.
That's not real.
That's how many there are.
No, hey, you can. I actually filmed it, guys. I took
Get
my cell
out of
phone
here.
down. I swear to God, like I literally have footage of the worms coming up and on the last couple like green pieces of stem that I had, and I'll text it to you guys. Like
You
they're
gotta think,
eating
oh,
it, and you can hear them eat.
So
I think with Joe, it was like 30 acres in 24 hours. If it's 30
Well,
acres, you're gonna hear something.
Okay, you're right. But
That's insane.
you just have to have
Insane.
liquid 7 on ready or something like that, right? I mean, I don't know what you do.
Everybody
So-
I've talked to said hope and pray. That's it.
They said they were in Wichita kind of in early August. I went out, looked, I found one, and then I went to buy some chemical, and it was gone. But I knew malathion would take care of it versus the granules that said they would do it. So I bought the last maybe 4 bottles there. I got on my 4-wheeler with my sprayer in my neighborhood. I don't have a very big yard. People were laughing at me until they couldn't get the spray company over there to take care of it themselves, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Dang.
It's crazy how quick it happens.
So
It's crazy how it moved across the Midwest because like Joe, we first heard about it with
Yeah,
Joe, and then
Joe.
Doug had it, and now Curt, and then like
Well,
now
but-
Kansas and everything.
I probably got hit before. I'm Indiana, Illinois, Iowa,
yeah.
working your guys' way.
Yeah, you were gone.
But I didn't know though
Bad.
because I stayed out of my place, you know.
So it's 6:35, and I don't
Wait.
want to
should go.
cheat everybody, but you got to give something away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do, right?
Gotta do it.
A
We
Jeep?
need to give away a ladies' gear bag.
I haven't seen a single lady on our entire
But
thread.
I'll tell you what, if you
Sorry.
can show me
Valerie,
a lady with a kill, we will choose
let's see.
one of those.
Right now, ladies, post up. I want to see a kill picture.
Yeah.
And let's give somebody a ladies' gear bag, which
Let's
are
go.
really cool, by
Yeah.
the way.
And
Our
then let's
platform is really strong with the ladies, so I'm
Come
surprised.
on, Valerie.
We're very
Oh,
surprised.
Come on, Rachel. I see
Yeah,
Valerie. I see Rachel. Let's see a
Boosh.
kill picture. Let's go.
Rachel is the real deal, man. She's we call her Biddy Boosh.
Biddy Boosh.
Biddy Boosh, that's her name on Instagram.
Love it.
She's an elk killer. She's a whitetail killer.
That's awesome.
Tony's like, Valerie, post that kill pic.
All right.
Valerie, what's
Yeah.
up?
Can they send pictures in here?
I think.
I don't
think
know how
can
to
go back
post.
and look- I can
I
look up
can't post.
our Facebook stream and see pictures on the comments and do it.
Let's
And I know
let's do
Robin
Valerie and
Egbert-
Rachel, like,
Is stud. She killed early this year too. She killed
Yeah.
a huge deer
Hey,
in
Robin.
New Jersey, of all places. God, it was awesome.
Some
So
fingers in here, man. We need to get these ladies on the podcast. Rachel's been on before about a big whitetail and some elk hunting talk.
it's awesome. And then we need to give away something else. So I love the Scent Crusher Plus. I think we should do that,
yeah.
an Ozone Go, and a gear bag as a starter set for somebody. So if you will
Dude, here's
post,
what we do. Share, guys,
yeah,
share this live. We're going to keep it up. We're going to post it as a permanent video.
Yeah.
You
That's
share
fair.
this, and then we'll pick. Okay, so what all are we going to give away? So randomly from whoever shared this video,
okay,
We'll give
random
away-
generate it.
I want to do 2 gear. I want to do 2 ladies' gear bags.
Okay,
I like
two
this.
ladies gear bags, and now that Chase
See
is
how I
with
get my
me,
way?
and we didn't do ATA, we'll do 2 sets for one for a guy, and then one if you'll post a picture of your kid that is killed this year, we'll pick one of
Oh,
those
that's
two.
awesome.
So we'll
There you
do a gear bag and an Ozone Go and a plus unit, one for an adult, and then one for a kid who's killed this year.
Okay.
Very cool.
Post them up. That's
Kurt,
awesome.
remember all that because I didn't write it down.
I can do it. We got it.
All right, now, ladies, I think we have like 3 or 4 girls on this entire thing
That have
Yeah.
commented.
that have commented. So I expect to see these shares because I just got them talked into at least doing 2 ladies' gear bags. And we got a whole bunch of other stuff. And
Yeah,
that's
well,
going to be awesome.
We got
So,
Robin, we got Rachel, we got Valerie. They got to be 3 killers right there, man.
Yes,
Awesome.
that's awesome. You guys are awesome. I can't
Thank you
wait
so
to see the
much.
studio in person.
I know. And
You guys gotta be
congratulations,
Yeah, you got to get here.
on teaming up with the juries and spreading the word. You guys have been great. So it's fun to watch
Yeah.
all of it just get bigger.
Yeah.
Thank
well,
you.
hey, we got to thank you guys for sure. You guys believed in us since we started this and kind of seeing our vision before we knew it was there. So we appreciate you guys more than you know.
Awesome.
And you know what? I might get him talked into like giving one more thing away. If y'all can wish him a happy birthday and hope that Dan kills the biggest buck of his career this season.
Happy
Right?
birthday, Dan.
Happy
Let's
birthday,
do it.
buddy.
Happy
Happy
birthday. You
birthday.
got this.
Had a great time.
So,
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on a Thursday. Have a great weekend. We'll
Yeah, you guys have fun in Colorado.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having us,
Awesome.
man.
Don't
Appreciate
too
it.
much fun.
thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you.
Take care.